Hi, welcome to my garden. I just thought that we would do a series this summer on my garden and track how things are growing. I haven't planted too much, but I thought we would go in and take a look to see what it looks like at the beginning of the year. Most of what you see are weeds so far. This year I decided I was going to build some teepees, and so I have one here that I built out of these stakes and some twine for things to climb on. And right here I have planted some ornamental gourds, just some small gourds, and you can see that they're growing right there, and then theoretically they'll climb up here. Over here on this tripod, or what is this called again? TP. I have cucumbers and cucamelons. Cucamelons are these little tiny, they look like miniature watermelons, and they taste like kind of like a sour cucumber. They're also called Mexican sweet gherkins. So they're fun to grow, but I thought I would grow those together with the cucumbers this year. And over on that TP, I'm gonna plant, I haven't quite decided yet if I'm gonna do my squash, my butternut squash there, or my watermelons. I'm leaning towards watermelons. And then as we come over here, the rest of it, this stuff that I'm walking over hasn't been planted yet. Inside this orange tape here, we have some radishes, and I've got beets over there, golden beets and red beets. And then over here I've got carrots planted, and sometimes it's hard to tell the weeds from the plants at first. And if you turn over this way, cameraman, this is my tomato cage, where eventually I have all my tomatoes growing inside right now, and when I bring them out, then I'll plant them along here, and as they grow I take these clips and clip them on to the fence, so then they don't tip over. It's a little bit more sturdy than using all tomato cages. We'll go this way now. And over here, so typically in the spring, I cover the entire garden with black plastic so then the weeds don't grow so much. This spring I didn't do the entire garden, and you can see some major weed growth. That'll be a lot of work, but right here along this is new this year too. I am going to do pumpkins along this, just with T stakes and this garden fencing. So we will see as the summer goes how this all grows. I am also going to put green beans right here in this patch. We're gonna have some sweet corn and some Brussels sprouts and broccoli and cauliflower all over in that far section that is full of weeds right now, and all of that stuff is already growing in the house. One thing that I have given up on in my garden is tilling, and instead of tilling I just do section by section by hand with my hoe. Several years ago I read that tilling actually increases your weeds. I obviously have plenty of them because it brings the seeds back up to the top of the soil, and then they can grow some more. So that is why I started doing the black plastic, to decrease the weeds, and then I quit tilling. I actually kind of like to use my hoe in the certain areas to just kind of like hand till as I go. So you know, the sections that I've already planted, I already you know, I just did that little section at a time, and as I go then I till it up by hand. my producer tells me that I should show you my garden shed, and I just store all my tools in there that I might need. Some things I have to put in there in the summer, and it's a really big mess, but a lot of mice also like to live in there during the winter, so there's a lot of mouse poop. Some things that I use like all the time are right here. And get this rake out of the way. Keep my gloves right there and my shovel, and that's handy little stem cutter. I really like twine in my garden, so I keep a roll of twine. So these are the things I use all the time. I've got a little stool there that I can sit down on to weed, and my husband also is handy, and he fed the hose down from the house, and so I can have running water at my garden shed, and so I can water my garden instead of taking the hose in and out. So that's my shed. Okay, these are my plants that I have planted indoors. I planted them, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks ago. I've got some, down here I've got some cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cabbage. A lot of tomato plants. My tomatoes are super leggy, and I don't know how to not have leggy tomatoes, but every year I have leggy tomatoes. They always grow tomatoes for me, so I'm not too worried about it. But when I do plant them in the garden, I will bury the stem probably up to here, and then new roots come out from the sides. So I will show you that process when I bring them out. That one. This was kind of a short intro video for our season of gardening. The next one will probably be a little bit longer because I'll be putting some of these beautiful baby plants in the garden. If you happen to have any questions about the things that I have done in my garden, feel free to ask, and I will hopefully answer the questions, hopefully. I've learned a lot over the years, basically by trial and error. So if you've made a mistake, I've probably made it too. Thanks for watching.